Hello and welcome. Welcome back. We're still making Edith, Holden ephemera. We're still using the same book, and I don't even think, I'm not sure, I'll let you have a look, but I don't think we're halfway through it yet. Maybe halfway, not quite, I think. But yesterday, if you watched yesterday's, you'd have seen that I made a masterboard out of some of the remnants. I didn't want the remnants all piling up, so at the end I had, 10,000 bits of paper to stick down, so I wanted to kind of keep making these masterboards as I go. And I think the masterboards make fabulous tags. I think that's them at the best because they're quite sturdy, which I like tags to be, or journaling cards, one or the other. So I'm going to cut this up today. I'm going to be brave. So if I'm making tags, I like tags that are about 3 1/4 to 3 1/2 inches wide. So let's cut one off at that. Let's go, that's 3 1/4, that's 3 1/2. Let's go 3 1/4 for no reason, no real absolute reason, just I fancy it. So cut down there. So there's one strip at 3 1/4. I might just cut them all into 3 1/4 actually. Cut them all at 3 1/4 and be damned with it, yes. Well, hopefully not too damned. I was lucky with these remnants. They had quite a lot of pictures on them. Oh, I just moved that there. So, there's a lot of images, which is good. Another 3 1/4. Oh, hello. Television's just come on. Stop. There we go. Now then, what have I got here? What have I got left? I've got about 6 3/4. 6 3/4. That's a good size for a height for a tag. But if I did that, all the text would be that way. Would that be all right? Not so sure. I like it this way. So let's actually measure what we have. We've got almost 7. So I'd still get 2 3 1/4. Let's take a 3 1/4 out and see what we've got left with. Actually, I don't think that is entirely straight. So let's cut the other one. This is the factory one, so I know it's straight. And cut that at 3 1/4. And see what we've got. And what we've got left is that bit there is tad over 3 1/2, and this bit here is tad over 3 1/2. Okay, so we're not too bad. So that's what we've got to work with. Now then, what do they measure this way? They measure 11 3/4. So half of 11 3/4 is what? 5 and something, enough for a nice tag. So I think I'm just going to cut those in half, but I need to work out what half of 11 3/4 is. So that's 5 1/2. 1 2 3 5 7/8. That's what I make it anyway. It may not be right, but it's somewhere around there. 5 7/8. Let's do that, and then we'll measure them against each other and see if we're somewhere like right. Yes, that's all right. And they're nice size tags, aren't they? Really useful tags. So I shall do that to all of them. 5 7/8. This is a good way, isn't it, of making tags. I mean, they all do need to be decorated, and I will do some of that on this batch. Maybe not today, but before they go in the finished basket. So, there we go. Well, wasn't that quick and painless? So how many tags did we get out of that? Quite a few, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tags. That's not bad at all. Yeah, that one's wider, isn't it? There was one that was wider. But that's okay. So 8 of the 3 1/4, and that one that's nearly 3 3/4 actually. So let's just cut the tops off them so they're beginning to look like tags. Which size shall I use? That's quite a nice size. Yeah, I use that one. I won't do all of them, I'll just do one of the wider ones and one of the narrower ones so you can see what's occurring. Nice. That butterfly's gorgeous, isn't it? And one of these, I'll just take the top one, and I'm going to use the slightly smaller diagonal. I'm sure most of you have been watching me do this and you all know what I'm doing at the moment. But for the newcomers, what I have done is I've taken, actually it's an old expired driver's license, and I have cut on each side, if I put it there you'll see, on each side a different angle. That's a very little one, and they get bigger and bigger, and then this big one here. And then I just, whichever size I want. For this I want the smallest one. Well, not the smallest, that's the smallest, second smallest one. And I just square that up with the top and down the side like that and cut it. And then I flip it over so I've got the same angle that I used there over here, line it up with the side and the top. And then you are guaranteed that that angle will be the same, because believe me, trying to freehand cut 2 similar angles, it drives you mad, and you end up every time, oh, a bit more of it, bit more of it, bit more. You end up with a tag that's, you know, pretty useless because you've cut it all the way. So that's just a good little thing, you know, just a store card, a key card, anything like that, you know, that's plastic like that. So there we have it. That's our wider one. There's our 2 more narrow ones. This looks ripe for decoration, doesn't it? Yeah. Need to think about that one. All I'm going to do at the moment, though, is stitch around them. They are onto solid card. Actually, I'm going to ink before I stitch. I'm sure I put my ink over there somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to ink round them and then I'm going to stitch round them. I'm still using the colour Frayed Burlap because I just like it. It's not too dark and it's not too light. It's a Goldilocks colour. So I'm just going to do what I said, one of the wider ones, one of the narrower ones, and just a little bit on the back as well. Doesn't have to be much, just so it looks finished. There we go, and this was the wider one. There we go. just a little bit around the back. And then I'm going to pause you for a sec while I just stitch around them. There we go. Right. So I'll just pause you there and I'll just stitch around that. There we are. So I've stitched around those. The thing that I want to do next is put a hole in the top. So I want that fairly central. So let's just measure it up. Be quiet, dear. Where are we? Where are we? There's about half, I think. I have no idea where my pencil is, not a clue. So I'm just going to make a mark there. And I can't do them both together because this is a different size, if you recall. And that wants to go there. Okay, so let's just make a hole. And I'm going to use the big side because I want to put an eyelet in it. And I haven't got any small eyelets. They don't seem to be available anywhere at all. Not even We Are Memory Keepers. Which is a shame. Right, there we are. Poke that bit out. So I'm going to put an eyelet on there. What colour shall I put? I'm going to put silver. I've got some silver that looks sort of like old silver, so I'm going to use those. Not really bright. So just pop that in. There we go. And this one. So the next big collage masterboard that we do, I'll try and make some journaling cards, maybe some pockets, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm certainly gathering enough remnants as I go to definitely make another masterboard. Now I'm going to use a bit of this. This is gingham, but it's not white gingham. It's called natural gingham, and I really like it because it looks more vintage. So I'll have two pieces the same for those. Don't have to be identically the same, just approximately the same. There we go. And pop those in there. And I just want to sort of half it. Like that. Not exactly half, but yeah, like that. That's lovely. And I'm going to put something on there that's got a bit of weight attached to it. My matte medium will do nicely. And I'm going to take some of this hessian, hemp, jute. I've no idea what it's really called. It's thin. And I bought it off Etsy. But I'm sure it's available other places. So I'm just looping that round, and I'm going to tie a bow in it because I quite like the way that looks. See, I've got like 100 meters too much. Not 100 meters. I've got too much hemp anyway. Jute, whatever. String. So let's just bring that in a little bit. Pull it tight. Just cut those off, but leave a little bit. There we are. And spread these out like that, and that's the top. It's got that lovely little bow at the top that looks quite natural, in keeping with Edith, I would say. And I'm just going to do the same with this one. So just pull it through, sort of straighten it out if it's got twisted, like that. Straighten it like that, and then one on top of the other. Put a bit of weight on there. Bit of this. I think I might have had too much the last time. It wasn't expensive, that much I do know. So that's sort of half there. It's about half. Tie it round like that. Tie a bow. And that looks lovely. I like that. There we have it. So there's 2 toppers on our tags. They probably could do with a bit more decoration, maybe some stamping or something. I'll wait until I've got them all done and then I'll decorate them all with you. I think that's the thing to do. Ah yes, we cut up the big masterboard that I just put some ribbon and stuff in the top of 2 of them. The rest I have sewn around, I've inked around, and I've put an eyelet in the top of them all. So that's those. And we also made these, which I love. These big journaling cards, aren't they gorgeous? Well, to me they are, anyway. That's upside down. I showed you about using a stamp to do faux stitching, which I think turned out really well. I don't know why I don't use it all the time, actually. It seems like much less effort. And that one, which I did actually stitch around. So we ended up with 2 of the journaling cards for the iris and 2 from the image of the foxgloves. Just lovely. So that is all that's in the basket at the moment. It's a bit empty. So let's get cracking. So I've still got all these pages from that signature. So I need to disappear them. So I've got this, and that is a tag, isn't it? It's probably a tag. So let's not get caught up in anything else. Let's just cut this out as a tag, because I get sidetracked very easily. So it's not exactly straight, this here. So I'm just going to try and straighten it up. Just get it. It's too tall as it is, so I want to get rid of some of that from the top. Yikes, that's going to cut a bit off my buttercup. Yeah, there we are. That's just. Let's get rid of this fluffy edge down the side. We definitely don't need it. So it's going to be quite a tall, thin tag, this, I think. And I probably also need to get rid of that just to make it look prettier. So let's square that up. Yeah, I still don't think that's square. Let's just take a little bit off there and just square this up once and for all. Square it up down there. Yeah. Lovely. So I'll keep that. That's a remnant. But these little bits, they can go away. So there we are. Now, how tall is that going to be? Yeah, it's going to be nearly 8. It's just a little bit too big. So I'll whip the words off the bottom and keep them. This is a good thing about using all your remnants. You don't need to feel too bad about cutting gorgeous bits like that off, because it's going to reappear in the big masterboard or whatever we decide to do with them. So there we are. We've got that. Let's back it onto some card. Boy, we're motoring today. Not quite 5 minutes in, or I have no idea how far in we are, but I'm guessing. And we've made something already. Incredible. Yeah, it's my ambition to get through that pile of papers that we've got from the last signature that we took out. Not all today. I don't think I'll get through them all today, but this week at least. So there we go. So for those of you following the sick bay news, news from the sick bay, Mr. F is doing all right. Actually, he's doing amazingly well. He's quite a stubborn soul and doesn't give in to pain really at all. But, you know, as you know, he had been in a lot of pain. But he's feeling much better today. And generally, on a Thursday, well, should I say first, generally we try and eat a sort of healthy diet. It's all gone to pot over Christmas, but that's all right. I'm okay with that. I expected it to go to pot, so I'm not beating myself up about it. But generally what we do is we try to eat fairly healthy food, meals, etc. during the week. And then on a Thursday, that's our cheat day, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that, really. And generally, for my cheat, I have a scone. Now, I'm not sure if they translate to America or not. I'm going to make this into a journaling card because I want to retain that. So I'm just going to take my corners off. Yeah, I have a scone. And like I say, I'm not sure that that translates awfully well to America, but it's, what shall I call it? It's a sort of, a cross between bread and cake is my best way of describing it. And I have it with butter on, of course, which is not good again, but I don't mind on a Thursday. It's acceptable on a Thursday, as long as you get right back on the wagon on Friday morning. And it seems to work for us. And today, Mr. F felt well enough to actually get in the car and drive and get out the other end and go and get my scone. We did have some things to post off, so he did that as well. And while he was away, I made the fire, so he didn't have to do that when he got back. And yeah, he's doing all right. I'm really pleased to say. So just a little bit on the back. Catkin was a very devil last night. He'd been out quite a bit during the day, and then in the evening, early evening, he came in and he went up to the bedroom. I think there must be a hot water pipe or something under the floor in one particular part, and he likes to lie there. There we go, one journaling card. Quick sharp, yes. And so he slept there for about 4 hours, and when he woke up, oh my goodness, there was no dealing with him. He was you know, when animals get the zoomies and they're just zooming everywhere, just madly. That's what he was like for a good couple of hours yesterday evening. He's driving us mad. Right, so I've got this, and that's saying to me 2 pockets. Where is it if I fold it in half? On the back we've got that, which is text. It's lovely, but it's not the best. You know, it's not a whole page of text. I'm being choosy about my text now. So that's halfway. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm just going to fold that over in half and go from there. Let's just crease that down. Now I'm just going to cut it in half by just putting a tiny amount over the edge there. And there we have it, 2 pieces, well, nearly 2 pieces, there we go. So we've got that gorgeous piece and that gorgeous piece. Okay, so they measure 7 inches. Now that's way too wide for anybody's journal. I want them to really measure about 5. Yes. So where is 5? Where's my ruler? Yeah, so I can get the bird in and down to about there, so most of the nest. Okay, so I'm going to cut it at 5 and a half so I can get a gusset. So let's just see. That's where I want it to be. So on 1/2 inch beyond that for the gusset, and then 5 inches along here is there. So I want 1/2 inch beyond that. I'll show you as I'm going what I'm doing. So that's the mark we made. That's the other mark we made. So I'm going to put that on 1/2 inch, which I believe is the metal bit on here. That's what I usually. So let's just cut that off. Do the same with this one. Put the mark that we made right on the edge of that metal bit. Trim that off. That's not, I'm just going to trim, I don't know, it's about 1/4 of an inch. It's going to leave me 4 1/4 inches, which I think is fine. Yeah, I think that's all right. Okay, let's do this one first, in case my measurements don't add up. Let's see if I can find my little scoreboard. And I'm going to just score 1/2 an inch around each side, that is to say. 1/2 an inch, 1/2 an inch, which is right on that mark that we made. So yeah, that metal bit on the Timmy trimmer is 1/2 an inch. I guess everybody else in the world knew, but I didn't. So yeah, I've just learned it is exactly 1/2 an inch. So there we go, that's that. This little thing that Nancy sent me, honestly, fancy Nancy. So now I'm just going to cut my corners out. Probably see it better on that side, I think. Just right into the corner and then angle it up like that on all 4. And then we should have a pocket, which would be good. There we go. Those are just scraps. So the top one, this one here, fold it over, crease it down, and I'm going to glue that down just to give this top bit a bit of, you know, Edith isn't thin, it's not thin paper, but just to support it a little bit, because that's the edge that's going to be, you know, people putting things in and out. So let's just glue that down. Don't need a lot of glue, which is a good job, because my glue's decided not to come out. I am going to stitch this, so you don't need loads of glue. If you're not stitching, there you go. Obviously put more glue on. There we are, and I'm just going to fold these in, ink around it, and then it'll need to be stitched around. There we go. So let's ink around that, and you'll see where I'm going, hopefully. Actually, that's a very pretty pocket. Yeah, I'm still liking my frayed burlap distress ink. To my mind, it suits Edith really well. There we go. So that's going to be our pocket. It's gusseted. Oh yes, how lovely. So let's do the same with this one. I quite like the depth of that, you know. It's quite nice that. It's a good size. So I need to bring it in a little bit, don't I? I need to bring it into that width, which was what? Does anybody remember? Well, it's about just a touch over 6. Which I want all my birdie in. So I'm going to have to lose a bit of the apple blossom, but that's okay. There we go. So I'm going to make a mark there and one at 5. Then I'm going to cut it again like I did the last one, allowing 1/2 an inch more than that marked line. So put that on the edge of the metal bit, as I've now learned. And this one on the edge of the metal bit. That's handy to know. There we are. So I'm going to, that will fold in, that will fold down and still give me my bird's beak. So I possibly need to cut that down a bit. What does this one measure? It measures 3 3/4, but then I turned over half, so 4 1/4. That's where I'd like it to measure. 4 1/4. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to lose that, and I'm not throwing that out because it's got pattern on it, and that might just come to the rescue. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to score around it 1/2 inch on all sides. You don't have to make gusseted pockets if you don't want to. You can make them just flat, of course you can. I just find that, particularly maybe the tags we've made out of the masterboard, etc., they can be a little bit thick, and you want them to go in easily. Whew, that is very tight on that bird's beak. Never mind, it's in. So let's cut our corners again. So, what else do I know? Well, the weather, excuse me, it's extraordinarily mild. You know, they're talking about it on the news. It's ridiculously mild. No doubt we'll pay for it later in the winter, but so far so good. So I'm going to do the same thing with the top. Fold it in and glue it down. Because all those tags that we made yesterday, they need to have somewhere to, you know, a pocket or something to go into. You need lots of pockets. Lots of pockets. I'm just going to stay down, will you? Just encourage that to stay down. Fold my other sides in. Like so. Oh, that's just so pretty, isn't it? It's gorgeous. I think these are some of the nicest pieces we've made, and they're just easy. So I'm going to ink round that with a view to stitching round it in the near future. I'm just going to see if there's any more pockets I can get out of those papers. Any that look like they lend themselves towards being a pocket. There we are, that's that one. So, let's have the papers back again. No, I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but not a pocket. No, not really. Oh, that's two. Yeah, I mean, that's two journaling cards, isn't it? Yeah, I'd say that's two journaling cards. Let's just do that. Whilst we're here, let's square it up and cut them off. Let me just move my pockets, I don't want to squish them. There we go. So I'm just going to take that edge piece off there. And cut it. Let me just put my light on a minute so I can see where I'm cutting. Cut it about there. So I've got that one, and I've got that one. Yeah, nice. So I need to work out how tall I want them. I think I'll cut that off just above the lettering. Yeah, about there. Keep that. Lovely. And this one, I've just cut a little bit off the end of the stalks and a little bit above it because that's just blank. There we go. Let's just see what they measure, if they look about right. That measures, yeah, 7 1/4, that's good. This measures, yeah, about the same, 7 1/8. So there we have it, two fabulous journal cards. So let's get those backed. Does that fit on there? Yeah. I need to get another sheet of card, but I'll get that in a sec. Yeah, when I sold these, the set that I made before, the first set, I put in some Edith pages because so many of you in the comments on YouTube, you tell me that you've got Edith books, but you dare not cut into them. And I know that feeling. I can remember when I felt like that too. So I included some loose Edith pages, so you don't have to worry about that. I've already done it for you. So that might spur you on to cut into yours. Right, I'm just going to pause you for a second, I think, because I need to get a sheet of card. Right, so I've got the card, I've just cut a piece off it, and I'm going to stick that down onto there. Can't believe how we're motoring this morning, guys. We are really motoring. Seems such a tragedy to cover up these dog roses, because I love them. Love dog roses. I love it when they're all out in the hedgerows, and we have so many of them around here. It's a joy. It's just an absolute joy. So we'll stick this on here. Get it kind of squarish. It's good. There we go. Lovely. So now this should be dry. I can cut it out. I'm going to have a mammoth sewing session, which is good. So let's just cut this one out. Managed to maintain the page number on this, which I like. So yes, all is still and quiet here today. So that's that one. I'll just keep that because you never know. You never know when you might need a little piece of card. Let's hope this one's dry enough to cut round without it moving everywhere. I think so. So I'm just going to put corners in these ones. 1/4 inch corners I think will do the job. Just a piece sticking out there, I don't know what it's doing, there we go. Yeah, 1/4 inch corners, ink around them, and then they can get sewn. They're nice, useful cards. Lovely, another one. Oh, needs inking. Don't forget to ink. There we go. Yeah, they're lovely. Just a quick dust around with some ink. Well, the other good thing, I don't think I'm going to lose my thumbnail. I can't remember if I told you or not, but during my wood chopping exercises for the fire, I was chopping some wood up for kindling sticks, and oh my goodness, like something out of Tom and Jerry. I missed the wood altogether with the axe and brought it down firmly on my thumb, which hurt. I can tell you it hurt. But I didn't want to say anything about it because I didn't want Mr. F to feel bad, you know, that I'd been chopping the sticks. So I stuck some nail varnish on it. So I can't tell what's going on under the nail varnish really, but I don't think I'm going to lose it, that's good. I'm pleased about that. Doesn't half hurt though. Trying to chop your thumb off, I wouldn't advocate it as a way forward. There we go. On the sewing pile. So quiet in this house without Bobby, honestly, I really miss him. You'd think he'd be used to it by now, but you know, we had him for a long time and he never liked to be left alone, so I was always with him, and you do miss him when he's not around. I walk into the kitchen and expect to hear the pitter-patter of his little paddy paws, coming to see if there's anything he can scrounge. There we go, so that's inked as well. Right, let's get back and see what else we can make. Yeah, two nice, that would make a nice side pocket. What's on the back of there? Well, that would make two pockets as well. Dilemma. What shall I do? If I cut that there and made a side pocket, I think that's the thing to do. Yeah, I think that's the thing to do. So I'm just going to put a mark on the top there. That's where I want to fold it. About there. And just the other side of this daisy, I think. Yeah, I think so. There. So that would give us a pocket, a side pocket that is 2.5, just a bit more than 2.5 inches wide. Yeah, I think that's okay. Let's go with that. We're going to have some remnants off here, but I'm not complaining. We do need side pockets in the journal, so I want 1/2 inch more than that. So I've got a guess on this one. There is no 1/2 inch measure, so I'll say it's about that. And then 1/2 inch more than that other mark that I made, which is about there. Excellent remnants. Oh, yeah. We've got almost a whole butterfly there. Right, so height. What do I need? Well, in the States, your letter paper is 8.5, isn't it? 8.5. Ours is 8.25. Is that right? Is that right, Mr. F? Is our A4 8.25? Yeah. Right. So I don't want this any bigger than 8. That's what I'm saying. But I do want to leave 1/2 inch. Yeah, that's about right. By the time I've creased my ends in, I think that's about right. Nothing to come off there. So let's get the little board out again. Well, it's not going to fit on there, is it? Don't be daft. And I've lost my green thing out of there. That had a certain air of inevitability about it, that, I'm afraid. It'll be around somewhere. I just need a darn good tidy up. Right, so I'm going to score at 1/2 inch round all sides. And as I've told you before, the bit that you're scoring, the bit you can see, that's the bit that folds over. There we go. Oh, that doesn't live there. So that's a nice side pocket. Let's cut the corners off. I mean, that's nice as well, isn't it? It's beautiful. Well, it's hard to find an Edith page, actually, that isn't beautiful. The only one that springs to mind is that one with the adders on it. I don't like that. No, I don't like it. go. So this is the leading edge. Well, it could be that, whichever way you choose really. But I'm going to have to select one leading edge. I'm going to select this. So let's just burnish that down and then glue it in place. This would be great to house things like those big cards that we did yesterday. There we are. And let's crease the rest in, ink it round, and it can go on the sewing pile. Lovely. Yeah, that's nice. So because this is the leading edge, it'll go on this side of your page, so you can move things in and out that way. You can make yours wider, you could make it narrower, I suppose. But I think that's quite a nice width. So there we are, that's now on the sewing pile as well. Let's have a look at the pages, see what we've got left. I'm going to have that one till the day I die, aren't I? That one, that's not saying anything to me particularly at the minute. Ah, that's saying 2 pockets. Yeah, it is. So we'll do these. I might do it again as I did it last time, fold it in half and cut it in half. I'm probably going to lose the B because it's going to get folded in. Probably, mostly, yeah. It's just the way of the world. There we are. So we've got our 2 pockets. Very nice, very nice. So I want to make a measurement. I want it to be 5 inches across the finished pocket. So about there, I think. About there. Let's just put a mark on there. There. And there. That's going to be our finished size of the pocket. And same with this one. There. And 5 inches from there, which is there. Lovely. So let's trim those out. So I want 1/2 inch beyond the mark that I've made. 1/2 inch beyond this one. Lovely, that's fine, perfect. And same here. There's not going to be much spare on that one. A little bit. There. So keep the 2 bigger bits in the remnants, chuck those away. So yeah, I think they'd be nice. Let's score around them. 1/2 inch everywhere. You're getting the hang of this by now. You're probably bored with it by now. This is kind of a mass make, isn't it? I didn't think I would ever be mass making anything, to be honest. I'm just not that sort of journaler. I take too long over things. But yeah, I believe that this is, well, it's nearest I'm ever going to get to mass making anything. So there we are, that's scored around all of those. So we just need to do exactly the same again. Oh, that's pretty. No, I'll stick with what I know. So I'm just going to do exactly what I've done for the other ones on these two, and then I'm going to sew around all the ones that you've seen me make this morning, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so I've sewn around all of these. I'll show you in a sec, and I just want to have a look through here and see if there's anything else that is very obviously anything. That's too nice. I've got other plans for that. Too nice. That one would make a side pocket. Yeah, it's on the back. Yeah, that would make a side pocket. That, yeah, it's quite wide, and I have other plans for it. That, well, that's just hanging around forever. And that, yeah, no. Okay, so it's just this one, and I'm just going to make that into a side pocket, and I'll have it opening the other way. So I want to, where do I want to mark it? I'm just going to square that off and fold 1/2 inch in, and then where do I want to come to? I could come to there, which would get me, yeah, so about, let's just have a look how wide that is there. I think that's all right. I think that's okay. Yeah, so I'm going to make my mark there and cut it 1/2 inch wider than that. So we've got something to fold in. Get the Jolly Green Giant out. So I'm just going to square off this raggy end here by the minimum I possibly can. There we go. That's lovely. And then I'm going to cut that. That's the mark, but I want 1/2 inch more to fold in, so it's about there. And we've got this piece left. Okay, there's probably a height issue as well, isn't there? Yeah, that's 9. That's all right. By the time I've folded 1/2 inch or a good 1/2 inch in each top and bottom, I think we'll be okay. So I need to get the big board out again. We've made some progress today, haven't we, with the more sort of mundane pieces, I would say. You know, pockets and journaling cards, but you need them, you know, so crack on with them, get them done, and then we can get on to more exciting stuff. So just 1/2 inch around. I'm actually going to do 5/8 of an inch on the top and bottom, just to bring it for a better height for us. 1/2 inch up there, and then I'm going to do 5/8 on the top as well, so it's 1/2 plus 1/8 is there. Lovely. Cut my corner out. So I'm interested to know if anyone's following along. I know some of you are, you've told me in the comments, but if you haven't told me and you are, comment below, because I love the idea of people following along. Because at the end of it, you are going to have a massive trove of Excellent stuff. Yes. Right, so this one goes in this side. So this one, I want this to be the leading edge. So I'm going to fold that one over. And I'm going to glue that down. This one's a bit wider. It doesn't matter. I can't imagine they're going to go on 2 facing pages. If that matters to you, then obviously cut them accordingly. Just glue this one down. Just a little bit of glue does me because I'm stitching. You know, like I say, if you're not stitching, then please use sufficient glue. There we are. That just gives that a bit more support, that leading edge. And then fold the others in. Lovely, put the lid on my glue. Give it a good inking. Well, we've made some progress today, haven't we? I've still got pages left from this signature as well. But I have sort of more, I have ideas what to do with them, more sort of interesting stuff probably. Not that these aren't interesting, but you know what I mean. There we go. So I just need to stitch around that and I'll be back to show you what we've done today. Okay, so that's that one inked and sewn around. It's a really nice pocket, a nice side pocket for putting anything large. Where's our big things from yesterday? Do they fit in it? No, they don't. They just don't. Oh, it's so close as well. No, I think this is going to have to be a belly band job, actually, those ones. So we'll make some belly bands for those later on. Right, so what have we got today then? Well, we've got 2 side pockets, these ones. Lovely. We've got, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4 ordinary, what I would call ordinary pockets. I love this one. It's possibly my favourite piece that I've made so far. I really love that. It's just gorgeous. So that's 4 of those, 2 with the greenery, 2 with the dicky birds. And then we've got some journaling cards that we made along the way. So 3 of those. Wow, what a day we've had today. We've really cracked on. So, there we are. And these side pockets as well. Ha! Fabulous! So thanks very much for joining me. I'm really pleased with today's progress. And I'll see you very, very soon when I'm going to come up with something slightly more interesting for the other pages of the signature. I don't know what that is yet, but we'll see. So have a nice rest of your day and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.